Hello friends and colleagues, I am Stanislav Chernonog, the author and creator of the online school of vector massage and somatics. And today we are going to talk about tinnitus, or simply put, ringing in the ears. It's important to understand that tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, refers to all sorts of noises in the ears that are not related to the sound information you receive from the outside world. This is a serious issue. Medicine, as a rule, does not know how to treat it, but nevertheless there are simple and clear methods that can help you cope with this condition. And in this video we will go over 5 main methods that can help you significantly reduce or even completely resolve this problem at home. First of all, let's figure out the causes. There is a very simple cause that is very easy to eliminate: earwax. Basically, if the ear canal is blocked and something inside the ear canal is preventing sound from passing through, then we won't hear the sounds coming from our environment as they are. The same can be said about taking certain medications. In some cases, tinnitus is a side effect, and it's normal for this medication to cause ringing in your ears. In this case, you need to clean your ears or simply change the medication. Another significant cause is impaired blood circulation in the head. This refers both to the blood that flows into the head through the arteries and the blood that leaves the head through the veins. And if a person has high blood pressure, this can lead to them hearing the movement of blood in their ears. If the blood near the ear flows too quickly or in pulses, it can create a specific sound inside the ear, which is very noticeable because it's so close. I'll show you specific ways to deal with this a bit later, so stay tuned. The next cause of ringing in the ears is inflammation inside the head. This could be the nasopharynx or it could be the eustachian tube. Here, an inflammatory process occurs, which leads to excessive accumulation of lymph in the lymph nodes, thereby compressing the nerves that control the ear and preventing the ear from receiving normal blood supply. This can also be treated at home, so we'll talk about that as well. The next cause is a change in the functioning of the ear itself. Excessive amounts of salt can accumulate in the ear bones, and biochemical transformations can occur in the cochlea's auditory mechanism. In addition, in some cases, the eardrum may become inflamed, which can lead to the appearance of parasitic sounds that are not related to the sounds of the surrounding environment. There are many other causes, such as tension in certain muscles, the trapezius muscles or the lateral pterygoid muscles, or stress, changes in thyroid function, and psychosomatic reasons. It is very important to understand that all these causes, regardless of their origin, can be effectively addressed by the methods I will tell you about a little later. It is important to realize that each of these methods is targeted in a specific direction, but they are especially effective when you use them together. So the first exercise I want to tell you about is ear massage. How is it beneficial for us? First of all, it works on the eustachian tube and the entire mechanism of the inner ear. In addition, working with the ears has an excellent immune stimulating effect. And if we have any inflammatory process in the nasopharynx, again in the eustachian tube or in the eardrum, working with the ears will allow us to significantly improve all these conditions. The basic movement that we do is to take hold of the ear and start pulling the ears in different directions, searching for the position, the tension, where there is soreness in the inner space of the ear. Here, on the one hand, you need to be delicate. That is, you shouldn't press hard or sharply, and you shouldn't yank your ears. This can lead to an aggravation and worsening of the situation. But we gently take hold of our ears and start stretching them in different directions, looking for the position where our ears produce pain, and it is in this direction that we stretch the ears. It is also helpful in this state to open your mouth, because this allows us to equalize the pressure inside and outside the ear. The best option is if, at the moment when you are pulling your ears, you yawn or pretend to yawn. That is, take a breath with your mouth opened wide. You can also stick out your tongue, which perfectly stimulates the passage of air through the eustachian tube. The second exercise is rubbing the surface of the skull directly behind the ears. We perform a very simple up and down movement. You can do it a little lower, a little in the middle, or a little higher. What is this exercise for? The thing is, the inner ear is located within the temporal bone. We are rubbing exactly the area behind which the auditory mechanism is located. At the moment when we work with it, we improve the blood circulation inside the ear mechanism, and in this way the blood flow removes harmful substances, brings in beneficial ones, and the ear begins to recover. It is also worth adding here that when we rub the area behind the ears, we are working on the microscopic, almost atrophied muscles of the ear, which if we train them would allow us to move our ears. Even though these muscles have almost completely disappeared and are barely present, they can still form spasms, thereby changing the position of the ear and, as a result, altering the tension of the eardrum, which in turn can lead to tinnitus. The third practice that can help you with tinnitus is working with the lymphatic system. Now, I will show you some basic movements for working with the lymphatic system, and here it is very important for me to convey to you that understanding how the exercises are done is not the same as being able to perform these practices correctly. For example, my little son knows all the letters, but he doesn't know how to read. And in order to learn to read, you need to do it regularly and consistently practice these exercises while understanding what and how serves as the criteria for correct execution. Here it is important to understand that we need to work with the entire lymphatic system, not just the lymph nodes, which can block blood circulation and cause ringing in the ears. To begin with, we need to work on the venous angle. Then we need to work on the carotid artery. After that, we can move on to the submandibular lymph nodes and the retroauricular lymph nodes. We work with these lymph nodes by placing a hand over them and listening to the lymph node. If you work with the lymphatic system correctly, not only does the ringing in your ears go away, but your overall well-being improves, your mood gets better, facial swelling disappears, your skin tone changes, and in general, a huge number of changes occur throughout your entire head. For example, your vision may improve. That's why working with the lymph is a very powerful thing. The fourth reason is a problem with the temporomandibular joint, and specifically with the lateral pterygoid muscle. We can work on the lateral pterygoid muscle by placing our hand in front of the ear opposite the tragus, slightly opening the jaw, and you'll feel a small hollow there. You need to press on this point. In some cases, it can be quite painful. And finally, the fifth method for dealing with tinnitus is to improve blood circulation in the head. If venous outflow is primarily about working with the lymphatic system, then arterial blood supply is mainly about working with the back's posterior surface, the long extensors, and working with the short extensors means working on the base of the skull. You need to locate the base of your skull. This is the area just below the hairline. Here along the hairline, we can observe distinct bony protrusions or bumps. You need to move slightly lower and find the small dimples. Under no circumstances should you press there too hard or cause yourself excessive pain, because beneath the occipital bones lies the vertebral artery, which directly supplies blood to the brain. If you compress it, you may end up with a headache. First, we find this small dimple, and then we begin to carefully massage this specific area using slow circular motions. Let me repeat this once again for you, that you really need to do this very slowly, quite gently, and very evenly throughout the process. It is very important that you enjoy the process while doing this movement. And not because it's, oh, it hurts so good, but because it's, oh, this feels so nice and pleasant. In addition, place your hands on this area, put your thumbs on this spot, and move your eyes left and right. Some of you may feel something moving under your fingers. This is because your eyes are closely connected to the base of the skull, and by moving your eyes left, right, up, and down, you can relax the muscles that attach our head to the neck. In this way, you can relieve the vertebral arteries from excessive tension and thereby improve cerebral blood circulation. Once again, I remind you that knowledge alone leads us nowhere. If you don't try it, it definitely won't help you. So be sure to give this video a like. Everyone who tried this exercise, be sure to write in the comments that you tried it and what results you got. I'm genuinely very interested in this. Remember that your comment might encourage someone to do the exercises shown in this video. And perhaps your comment will save someone's health, improve someone's hearing, or help someone get rid of tinnitus. So stay with us and subscribe if you haven't already. Send this to your relatives who are suffering from ringing in their ears. And as always, this was Stanislav Chernonog with you, the author and creator of the online school of vector massage and somatics, and the YouTube channel of the same name, a channel where together we look for ways to help ourselves, help our loved ones, help our clients, and at the same time earn good money through a moral and beneficial activity. See you next time, friends. Goodbye.